Hey, I'm Mark,
And I'm Kendrick.
and this is Movies in Black and White.
Yes, and we're back with our second retro review of the year.
Yeah.
And it's infinitely better than
Than
The Lonely Guy. Oh, well, hell, a dry dog turd would have been better than The Lonely Guy. Because The Lonely Guy fucking sucked.
I'm going to not speak the name of that movie again.
Oh, well, unfortunately, we have to compare this to something.
Agree.
So, there's that. What are we... This is 1984 we're doing, right?
Yes, 1984.
February 17th, 1984, this movie came out. Freaking Kenny Loggins, man. That dude can make some fucking catchy tune.
Soundtrack.
Oh, absolutely.
Just
I still listen to his music today.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
It's good.
Highway to the Danger Zone?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
God, I remember my uncle telling me as a kid, he goes, there's always one song that you're going to want to drive fast to anytime you hear it. This is my song. Danger Zone, I've gotten more tickets to, well, funny fact, he got his license revoked because of how many tickets he got.
Wow.
So should have stopped playing that song a long time ago.
Yeah, throw that tape
avoided
out
that
the
one.
window.
But I get it. There's always that one song, and Kenny Loggins could make some music that makes you want to. Like mine is Sabotage.
Okay.
By the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
When I hear that, I think of Star Trek Beyond, and you hear Kirk going, "Oh, that's a good choice," and they start blowing up all the drones.
Yeah.
Man, that was so cool.
That was good.
But we're talking about Footloose, the original version, not the reboot, which we will talk about the reboot a little bit because I feel you can't talk about this one without talking about the
No, you
reboot.
can't.
But, okay, so, Mark, you want to take us through who's in this movie? You probably know better than I do.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Bacon's in this movie. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Was this was one of his...
John Lithgow's in this movie?
Yeah, this was one of Kevin Bacon's first movies, right?
Yeah, it was.
Well, I know that was... No, I'm sorry. Friday the 13th was Kevin Bacon's, like, really first big movie that I remember seeing him in. Or he was also in Animal House.
Yeah.
But I think Footloose really shot him to stardom.
I think so. I mean, that was really his first time really taking a lead role that made him,
Superstar.
so famous. Yeah, it was a superstar movie.
So you got John Lithgow, Kevin Bacon, Laurie Singer,
Yeah.
Diane Wiest, Chris Penn, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, a very young Sarah Jessica Parker.
Honestly, a young, pretty Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
Because as she's aged, she has not aged well.
Yeah, she's got a little witchy
It's witchy.
looking at.
John Logan,
That's
Francis Lee McCain, Jim Youngs, and Timothy Scott are in this movie. And it was directed by Herbert Ross.
Yeah.
What is he known for? Has he done anything else besides Footloose? No?
Check it out.
Holy shit, he's done a lot,
of
actually.
things.
Well, he's done a lot of choreography.
Okay.
So, he did quite a few directing. Like, he started directing in the late 60s. So, he was one of those guys that was around for the golden age of singing movies.
Okay.
So, he did the choreography for a lot of movies. And then he started directing in 69.
Oh, he did Steel Magnolias.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then the last movie he directed was Boys on the Side. I think he's passed.
Okay.
Yeah, he passed in 01.
Yeah.
He was 74 years old. And he's got a pretty good list of movies here. But it's your typical 80s movie.
It is. Strong soundtrack.
Well, question real quick. How old were you when this movie came out?
84. I was 11. Yeah.
Did you go see it in theaters?
No.
No?
No.
Huh?
No, I didn't see Footloose for... I probably saw it on cable.
Mm.
When it came out on cable. So
That's right, because these weren't on VHS wasn't a big deal yet, was it?
Well, it was just starting.
It was on its way.
Just starting out, yeah.
Yeah, but it's your typical 80s movie. Strong soundtrack. A lot of 80s soundtrack. Like, it's the highlight of the 80s. Like, if you ever want to watch a movie and know what music like was in the 80s, this is the movie.
This is one of them.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I when it first came out, I was like, okay. It was alright. I wasn't really into it very much at all. Over the years, it's kind of grown on me because you look at, how it's fighting against the system, you get older and stuff like that.
Well,
but
the system's fucking stupid in this movie.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. But, yeah, it's cool. It was alright.
It's not a bad movie. It's pretty good. Like, it holds up. It holds up a little bit to the test of time.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's a classic. I mean,
that's
everybody knows Footloose.
It's like The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, those movies of that time.
Yeah.
Hold up over the test of time because so many people grew up. Oh yeah, this was the story of this. Well,
Yeah.
In certain ways.
You want to go through the synopsis of this movie?
Okay, yeah.
All you, buddy.
Oh, okay. Oh, me?
Yeah,
Wow.
you can do it this time.
Okay, Kevin Bacon comes to this town. He's a new kid in town.
His name's Ren McCormick.
Ren McCormick.
That's actually a catchy name.
And
McCormick.
From the time he gets there, he's a city kid. He comes in to this little kind of podunk.
Well, his mom and him moved there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because his mom's in this one. She's
Exactly.
not in the reboot.
She's not in the reboot.
That's right. Okay.
He starts going to, school and everything like that, and the kids are like, you guys, what do you do for fun around here? And the kids are showing him all the usual country
Tractor
stuff.
racing.
Yeah, tractor racing and all this stuff. He gets into that for a bit, and he's like, oh, man, you guys ever dance? You ever do this? And they said, well, no, we don't, it's kind of forbidden.
No, it is forbidden. It's
Have
legit
dance.
against the law.
It's like, what in the world place do you live in and it's illegal to dance? Well, we come to find out that John Lithgow is this priest or preacher in this city, and he's got people under this kind of control that it really shines. I believe in God. I'm a man of God, so I look at it and I go, it really shines a really bad light on this preacher. Stuff like that. It's like, oh, you can't do this. No, but so he starts rebelling, starts getting these kids, teaching these kids how to dance. He gets this one friend,
Willard,
yeah.
Real quick. Willard was played by Chris Penn.
Yeah.
Chris Penn is amazing.
Sean Penn's
when I saw him, I was like, damn, he looks so familiar. I didn't realize at the time because he was so skinny in this movie.
Yeah.
But he was in Rush Hour. He was in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
He was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep.
He was in Starsky and Hutch. He was in a lot of movies. Unfortunately, I think he died in 2006. He had a heart attack, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really sad. But he was a good actor in the long run.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't realize it was Sean Penn's brother either.
He was, yeah.
But go ahead. He teaches his friend Willard how to dance.
Because, he's trying to get these girls and all this kind of stuff like that. So it's really a kind of a teenager coming of age type movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Stuff like that. So
I wonder if this movie would have been better if John Hughes would have directed it. John Hughes is like
had a whole lot
king
of
teenage
success.
movies.
Yeah. In that genre. So.
Speaking of John Hughes, I just showed my wife Uncle Buck. She'd never seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love Uncle Buck. Too bad that one didn't come out in '84. We'd be talking about that movie.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, yeah. It would have got voted in.
Yeah, definitely. Instantly. Yeah. Can't skip Uncle Buck. Are you crazy? You be. Anyway, he ends up fighting the system, fighting the town to try to get dances back. Mm-hmm. Ultimately does not succeed, so they have the dance outside of town, but he gets into the minds and hearts of these people, and they understand that they're wrong. They should abolish it. I mean, hell, it was dramatic as fuck. Like, there was way too much drama associated with this dance band, because at one point they were even burning books.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is this, Nazi America?
Yeah,
this is ridiculous. And I have a huge bone to pick with people that burn books.
That's really
huge fucking bone. Like, I was just watching Jojo Rabbit, and I was watching them burn books in that movie. Mm-hmm. And obviously, that was what they did in Nazi Germany. They burned books because they didn't want people getting the knowledge and growing their mind and all that stuff. They wanted them controlled. But I sit there and I cringe. I'm like, God, you fucking dickheads. Why would you burn books? Like, how much further along in life would we be if you idiots didn't do stupid shit like this?
Right.
So it bothers me. And that was too extreme. Like, people don't just go and do that. Like,
no.
That's a very... I lived in small towns. I grew up in small towns. I lived in a small town in Kansas called Greeley. You don't get much smaller than Greeley, Kansas.
Right.
That mentality doesn't exist in this world. In small towns in America like that. I mean, quite literally, it's a town where everybody knows each other. And there is a hierarchy in these towns. Like, the wealthy are the hierarchy in those towns. Mm-hmm. But by no means is it like that. That was nuts. That was crazy. That was too much. I think that was too far in the fascism side. It was bonkers.
Well, you look at even it was a theme in the 80s, kind of, in movies. Look at Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Roadhouse had the same type of theme of,
probably why nobody wanted to live in small towns.
Controlled, this hierarchy in this town controlled everything. Yeah. It was like, okay, so... Yeah, it was kind of a pervasive...
Okay.
Because we didn't...
Don't get me wrong. Small towns have issues. Like, there's nothing to do, so people just do drugs and drink alcohol and stuff like that.
Of course.
There are issues. but it's nowhere near to what this movie
Right.
dictated pictured.
Yeah.
It was too much. I was just like, wow, that's rough.
That was, I mean, honestly, the way they depicted it was in a way of like back in the Salem days, kind of.
Yeah,
it
like
was
witch hunting and burning.
He had
Yeah,
so
it was
much control
crazy.
that it was like you're almost brainwashed.
Well, to be fair, John Lithgow was trying to do the right. His son had died because of drinking and dancing all over.
Right.
That's what he perceived is what caused the accident, and they didn't really do a good job of explaining this. Where they kind of like just mentioned it. That's one of the things the reboot did better is they really delved into that whole aspect. But in this one, they just kind of mentioned it, like, yeah, his son died. That's why he's so controlling. But he really does try to do the right thing by this town. He's really just trying to shepherd these people.
Right.
And that's what he views as his job as their priest and as their pastor, is to shepherd them and teach them right from wrong. And he even goes, you guys have taken this too far when they were burning books. Like, what are you doing? This is wrong. This is unnecessary. And he learns his lesson at the end. And he was kind of likable in this movie. I think Dennis Quaid did it better. And it's not often I will say Dennis Quaid's better than John Lithgow.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad movie. It's fairly well held up to the test time. And I do not say this often, and you will not hear me say this often, but I genuinely feel the reboot was better in many aspects compared to this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like Kevin Bacon, so I enjoyed Kevin Bacon more in this movie than I did the other kid. He was unknown to me. He was just a dancer from what I read. I like the music more in this movie, the 80s one, because I adore 80s music. But I like the themes, the story. It made more sense in the reboot, because in the reboot, his mother passed, so he went there without anybody. He was forced to go there to live with his uncle. I liked his uncle a whole lot more, which his uncle in that movie was also in Ford v Ferrari. In the reboot of Footloose, the uncle was in Ford v Ferrari. He was one of the guys that was helping Carroll Shelby build the car, the main mechanic guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can forget his name.
Yes.
But he was in the reboot, and I liked him a whole lot more. In this one, his uncle was just kind of a dick. And his mom was unhelpful. Like, his mom was barely in any of the movie. She was a useless character, so when they did the reboot, I understand why they took her away. It made more sense to take her out of the picture. It was... His name's Ray McKinnon, the guy that played his uncle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, the reboot story was more streamlined and it made sense. And it had, I think, the benefit of having waited so long after the original and seeing what the backlash was to the original and fixing those.
Right.
And it did it right. It did the way this movie should have been back in the 80s. It didn't lean so heavily into the fascism part, but it leaned in heavily enough to where it's like, okay, these people are a little bit off the rocker, but justifiably so. And then it didn't go full force like with the burning of the books or anything like that. It's like these kids were getting tickets, they were getting shamed for going and doing these dances and stuff like that. But by no stretch was it as crazy as it was in the 80s one.
Heck no.
It kind of felt like Children of the Corn, except music was banned in the 80s one. But it's a good movie. I mean, it's a classic.
It's definitely a classic.
It was enjoyable. And I could watch it anytime, but if I'm to pick, I'd rather watch the reboot.
Yeah.
But Kevin Bacon is still known for this movie.
Yeah. One of the tidbits about this movie is the scene where he's dancing in the warehouse.
Yeah.
It's not him.
No. Hell no. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's not a gymnast like that. He couldn't do those flips and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, even the dancing parts are not him in the
Really?
Yeah, in the warehouse.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, the close-ups, of his face and stuff, that's him. But they kind of made fun of that on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, it was. I read that the other day. I watched that clip too before I watched the movie again, and I remember reading him saying, "Yeah, I went and watched Footloose again just to remember all the dance moves that we did in the movie." That was so funny.
Oh man!
I thought this was a party. Let's dance.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The movie ended kind of abruptly though. Like they kind of beat the shit out of the bully / Ariel's ex-boyfriend. And then they just had a huge... It was like, goddamn, it was like 5 minutes straight was the last dance. No dialogue, nothing, just them dancing.
Yep.
And having a time. Oh, that was another thing. I like Willard better in the reboot. Because he's played by Miles Teller.
Oh, yeah.
While I like Penn in this movie, Miles Teller did it better.
Yeah.
Miles Teller's a fantastic actor. I cannot wait to see him in the sequel to Top Gun as Goose's kid. That movie looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Maverick. Oh, buddy. God, they did have good music, though. Let's see, it released 4 new songs with it. So the album included Footloose, I'm Free, Holding Out for a Hero, Girl Gets Around, Never, which is the song that plays while he's in the warehouse, which I like that song. They did that was really well fitted to that scene. Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Yeah, Denise Williams.
Dancing in the Sheets, Almost Paradise.
Shelmer. Yeah, there's a lot of songs, a lot of hit songs off there.
It was really classic. Hell, those songs, you didn't even need an orchestra for this movie because the songs pretty much took up the whole movie.
Right.
But it's enjoyable. Like, it's a classic for all the obvious reasons. Miles above the Lonely Guy. I can say that for certain.
No doubt.
Will not ever watch that movie again. But I can watch this movie anytime. And it was a success back in the day. It was made on a budget of $8.2 million, which nowadays gets you nothing. Yeah. And it made $80 million only domestically, only in the States.
Wow.
It made $80 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Awesome. I mean, it's 10 times its budget. It's actually amazing. They never made a direct sequel to that movie based off its budget alone.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, hell, for comparison's sake, the original Friday the 13th, I think its budget was even more minuscule than that. It had a budget of $550,000, and it made $59 million. Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, so back in the day, then $8 million was a substantial budget,
money.
But it still made its money back.
Holy cow!
So no wonder why Friday the 13th had like
500,000.
Yeah, no wonder why the Friday the 13th movie had like 17 sequels.
We paid the next 10.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, Kevin Bacon was good in that too. He had one of the more gruesome deaths in Friday the 13th, where the arrow went through his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was rough. I showed my wife that movie the other night too. And I told her, I was like, I don't think this movie's scary, but it is really good. It's a classic horror movie for a reason.
Yeah, okay.
She looked at me halfway through and she goes, fuck you. I was
You're
like, what?
Idiot.
She goes, this is scary. I hate you. I was like, I'm sorry. It's good. I don't find it scary. Like, there's very few movies I find scary
That's
anymore.
what I was telling Corey today. I was like going, because he said he went and saw The Boy.
Oh, did he like it?
No, he said,
it was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because we're so desensitized to it at this point. Like, it's always those little small scenes that just creep you the hell out. Like in Parasite.
If you do them well, yeah.
Yeah, with like Parasite where he pops up above the stairwell and you just see his eyes and top part of his face.
You don't have
to
have some crazy monster. You don't have to have some crazy thing, weird thing. Just have some psycho person doing something that's just way off. And it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's cool. You stay over there.
You just keep your ass over there. I don't want no part of this. If you come over here, I'm out. So the original Footloose, Mark, 1 through 10, what'd you give it?
Oh, original Footloose, I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was actually going to give it a 7 even.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Like, it is a classic for all the right reasons. It doesn't hold up in certain aspects, like the way the mentality was of old-time small towns back then. Even though that's probably what these big city folks fought because, we didn't have the internet back then. We only had the news. We only had newspapers. There wasn't such a huge source of information. So everybody had that mentality of just like, oh, you bunch of hicks.
Yeah.
Like, all you do is go tractor racing and all this stuff. And they really... Cow tipping. Okay. Cow tipping's fun. Let's be real here. Chris Farley sold cow tipping in Tommy Boy. Oh, man. Wait till Christmas. So, it's a classic for all the right reasons. It's got some stuff that don't hold up, but the music holds up, the dancing holds up.
Right.
The core story still holds up, obviously, because they kept the core story for the reboot, and the reboot was amazing. So it's good to watch. It's pick it up. I think I paid $6 for the Blu-ray on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
it's worth buying and watching.
It's not going to cost.
If you haven't seen it, okay. First of all, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It should be on your list of movies to watch before you die.
I agree.
And if you have seen it, go watch it again. It's fun. It's a classic. It may bring back some memories. I mean, hell, you said you didn't watch it till you were in high school?
Yeah, it's about then.
Okay, quick question. How many dances did you go through that were Footloose themed, do you think? Or played Footloose at?
Oh, played Footloose?
Yeah.
Like... Everyone, at least everyone played Footloose.
You know what my generation song was
What's
at
that?
every dance was "Let's Get It Started" by the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh gosh,
that was at every single one.
Yeah,
running. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Every single one.
Yeah, I think every single one probably played Footloose.
I don't shit.
At
They
least
even played
one
Footloose. I think
time.
they played Footloose at my prom too.
Oh wow.
So that song, Kenny Loggins, man, dude knows his music.
He did.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
I got it.
Sure.
Kenny
I
Loggins.
think he is still alive.
Kenny Loggins. There you are, bud. He is. Damn, he's 72.
Yeah.
He was born in 1948. Yeah, he's still
Wow.
alive. Holy crap.
I wonder if they approached him to make a new song for Maverick.
You know what? They should.
He should have.
I wouldn't be
Just
surprised,
out of
honestly, if he
respect.
does have a song in that movie. I mean,
Just
hell,
out of
he was-
respect.
He was in he's known for 80s movies. I mean, he did the soundtrack for
Caddyshack.
Star Is Born, Caddyshack, Footloose. He was in Top Gun. I mean, he had
Over the top.
over the
song.
top. Fuck that movie. That movie's so stupid.
Yeah. The bright spot about that movie was a song.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
like-
Anytime Kenny Loggins
Yeah.
makes a song for a movie, you're all about it. But Over the Top is so stupid. I'm glad that's not in this. If we ever do that year, we're gonna have to talk about that movie.
Thrown down.
Yeah. He's getting thrown out?
Oh
No, come on, we gotta watch
you
this
wanna-
talk about how crappy that movie is.
Gosh. Oh, painful.
It depends. What came out that month that Over the Top came
I
out?
still say Lonely Guy will be at the bottom.
No, Lonely Guy will legit take the cake
Yeah.
for as long as we do this, probably, if not
Yeah.
longer. Unless there's... I'm having a hard time... Unless we ever do the movie The Marine with John Cena. I fucking hate that movie. Oh my god. I hated John Cena for a long time because of that movie.
Because of that movie.
Oh, it was horrible. Like, it was legit.
Wow.
It hurts my brain just to think about that movie. But now I like John Cena. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Blockers and stuff.
Oh, Blockers
Yeah.
is hilarious, man.
I am a team player. I just ass chugged a 40.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's what's next month. Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
I am
yeah.
so excited to watch that.
Yes, I'm excited for you to watch that. Man, see that brings back memories because my dad took us to see that movie.
Did they? Did
Yeah.
he? So
yeah, we went. My parents. Took
I
us to see that movie.
bought Romancing the Stone, and I did not know they made a sequel to that movie. So I bought that as well. And I'm gonna watch them
Jewels
both.
and Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch those movies. I'm
Yeah,
looking
man.
forward to it. They've hyped me up quite a
Both
bit for
good.
that one. We got a lot of good movies still coming out. I think we got Romancing the Stone next month. We got Swing Shift in April. We got Indiana Jones in May. Ghostbusters in June.
Yeah.
Last Starfighter in July.
Yeah.
Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai in August.
Yes.
Soldier Story in September.
Yeah.
The
Good one.
Terminator in October, Nightmare on Elm Street in November, and Dune in December. I'm gonna try to read Dune before we do that movie
Okay.
because I have it. I
Yeah.
actually
Oh, I
both
know.
my wife and I have a copy of it in our library, so I'm gonna read it before it comes out.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, the book, of course, is going to be different than the movie.
Well, yeah,
but the
that's
movie
always
is-
gonna happen.
It's good. I like it.
Always. Like we said, I'm really excited to see what the reboot looks like.
Yeah.
So you got anything
Yeah,
else?
I am too.
Got anything else for Footloose?
No,
No?
just it's like I said, it was a good teen movie, good spirit movie. I mean,
Classic
it's gotta
80s
be.
movie.
It's a classic '80s movie. I mean, like you said, it embodies the
Yeah.
'80s.
You think 80s?
Yeah.
Footloose is usually the top 10 movies you think
Yes.
of when you think of 80s movies. For clearly all the right reasons
Yeah.
when it comes to 80s.
Right.
So, nah, I don't got anything else. So you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, brother. All right, well, I've been Kendrick,
And I'm Mark.
and this has been Movies in Black and White. See you next time.
Peace.